didn't see his shadow? There's more winter. Which one is that? Anyway.
Yeah. I think he did see his shadow, which I always think is so weird because it seems like it should be the opposite. Like, it's sunny, therefore he sees his shadow. Shadow, therefore it should be spring. Yeah, but I think it means the opposite. Hello and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I am not Jen. I am Kathleen.
Amanda!
As you can see, Jen is not here with us this week. She had another engagement.
She had a birthday party! No,
she did. Yeah, we have limited times that we can podcast right now, so...
Which we say every week.
If one of us can't make it, we go ahead as we can.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, I thought you meant limited time. We have limited time.
Oh, and we do have limited time tonight because it is quite late and neither Amanda nor I have had dinner yet.
No.
So that you don't have little people falling over on your screen. But we're going to be pithy and quick, right? We always say that.
Yep. I have my dinner from Coriander, which is right across the street from Yarnia. They just closed.
And now they're closed, right?
Yeah.
It's late enough.
It's sitting on the back counter. Mm-hmm. But I think, do you guys remember I picked up dinner from there probably a month and a half ago when we were podcasting.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. They have the best kimchi jjigae I think I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
So that's what's back there.
Very nice.
Oh,
very nice.
I've had, lunches, dinners that I was happy with over there. It was fine. Mm-hmm. And it was fine.
Yeah, that's, I've only been a couple of times and it's been fine. It's like not been anything that exciting to me, so...
But I have to know kimchi jjigae? Oh, it's all right. So good. It's so good.
Well,
I'm so
now
excited.
That I know, I will keep that in mind.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's what's coming up.
Cool.
For me,
for
very
you.
Eminently.
Well, and I brought some dinner with me, but I was I had a private lesson after the store closed, and then I was getting ready for the podcast, and then what else? Oh, then I was getting ready for our trunk show. And then I kind of missed my window of eating, so I will bring it home and reheat it when I get home.
I know how that is.
Well, some days, I had a slice of pizza for lunch, so I had a very filling lunch.
Yeah. I had a less than a quarter, but a little bit of muffin that Beth brought home from she works at Montclair Bread Co. And so when they're trying new things, I get to sample them.
Very nice.
Hey, Mom, do you think this donut tastes like a pina colada? I don't know. Let me try that.
Let me try. I will give you my opinion.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was a big advocate for having a whole line of cocktail-inspired donuts.
I think that sounds fabulous. Yeah, and I think it would go over very well in
I
this
thought
town.
so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. And you go for it?
Well, I don't know. I think Beth did. We're still lobbying the rest of the team.
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
Oh.
I mean, at the very least, a cocktail a month. Why not?
Right.
That's so, yeah.
Yes, cocktail donut of the month.
Yeah.
Oh, and I said you could also put right next to it just the little recipe for how to make the cocktail.
Yeah.
That would be really cute.
Very fun.
Anyway.
Very fun. Yeah. So tonight we are taping episode 145. We I don't think we did our count in the last one, which was a live.
Yes.
That was fun. Well, it was fun for us. It was less fun for me. But were you happy in the end? I thought it was fine. I thought it was a good episode.
Happy is probably stretching it. I think I would have to be. It was very anxious. So I think I would have to do it more regularly. Uh-huh. You know what I mean?
Which, maybe we should. You know what I mean? Maybe cutting out that editing time is not a crazy thing.
Well, it's time on the front end instead of the back end. But
True. But also, there may be things that others of us could help with on that, too. So, think about it that way. We'll see.
But maybe every 5th episode or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if it gets to be more of a regular thing, we definitely got a lot of comments that people enjoyed the format and everything, and and
everybody was chatting, and I think it was really nice after Jen opened her phone up and we could see what was going on. Yeah. So next time maybe we'll have an iPad with the.
Oh, that's a really good idea. We can do that. We absolutely should do that.
That's the thing with these, you have to learn.
You learn. But I feel like we have a very forgiving audience. Right? We have a friendly audience.
Y'all stick around no matter how poopy it gets. No, I'm kidding.
You've been around too many children. Poopy.
Oh man.
So, so we didn't say, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. We chat about knitting, crochet, embroidery, and other fibery things.
Yep.
And we hope you'll find some info and inspo in every episode.
Yeah.
And yes, we do digress. So, Amanda and I have been digressing while we've been here. We've been working on an order for one of our favorite yarn lines.
Yeah.
Which will be a little while before you'll see that.
You'll see it when it gets here.
You'll see it.
And we have a new order from another one of our favorite yarn lines that's in, and we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that toward the end of our episode.
I have this is not it is a beer, but it's not an alcoholic beer. Have you had these Athletic?
No.
Oh my goodness, they are so good.
Wow.
We have like
where do you
membership
get it?
now, so we order them. But they come in 6. But they're all non-alcoholic. Very good tasting. Like they've got sours, they've got IPAs, they've got like stouts and
nice
Belgian whites and
cool.
like all sorts of things. So
cool. I know.
This one is a hazy IPA.
Cool.
But that's what I was in the mood for tonight. I have these often.
Oh yeah, it smells good.
Right?
It smells really good. It smells
Yeah, it's really quite yummy.
It's interesting that it's non-alcoholic. I know. When I saw that, I was like, that's so daring. If I would have a Chardonnay, and then my cheeks would be like flaming red in like 10 minutes. I get so pink as soon as I have any alcohol.
Yeah, but this is when I come home from work. Most nights I have Athletic beer, and they're only 70 calories.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I absolutely need to get into these things. No, that is so good.
I'm gonna bring some. I'm gonna drop some by your house. I'll give you a little collection.
That's so sweet.
Of some.
I love a stout. I really do. Yeah. That's like a fave. So.
All right.
Cool. That's so nice.
You're gonna have a little special delivery.
Thank you. So we were chatting about, we don't have too much around town. Like Groundhog Day is over.
Groundhog Day is over.
It is going to still be. We're going to have more winter, which, oh my goodness, we have been it's been really cold again here. We've had
it was snowing
a fair
my
amount of
whole
snow.
drive home tonight.
It was, I know, I did see, they said, like snow flurries, but no real accumulation. There's accumulation on the cars.
Yes, there was a
Not
bit.
so much on the roads.
They were salting on the highways, and if there's a flake, people drive like crazy people.
Yeah.
So.
Haley and I went to a show at the Spring Lake Theater last weekend one day.
Yeah.
And it was snowing on the way down and sleeting on the way back.
Oh.
And people were still going 75. It was like, conditions, folks. Pay a little attention to the conditions.
It's just like also the divergence. And like some people are like, want to go 75, and then others want to go 35 in the middle lane, and you're
exactly. The number of people. This wasn't this time. I only saw a couple of cars with their hazards on, but cars in the left and the next to the left lane going fast with their hazards on. It's like all you're doing is distracting people more. It's so That was Gene was driving the last time we encountered that, and he's so like unflappable. He was so pissed off. He's like, "What is wrong with these people? They don't belong on the road." I kind of agree. It's like if you're gonna have your hazards, you should be over in the right lane and not going 75 miles an hour. Crazy people. But actually, if you are in the New Jersey area, and especially near the shore, the Spring Lake Community Theater is doing the prom right now, and we saw the first weekend show, and one of Haley's besties, who actually she's had items that she's made for Justine on here, is one of the two leads. She's Emma. She's the young girl.
She made the
fairy sleeves.
The need, right?
I think the fairy sleeves, Queen Steen sleeves. Yeah, the one that I am supposed to be testing. That is in my pile of things that I only need a couple more hours on.
That's okay. It's not festival season yet.
That's true. We got a little time before festival season. But the show was so good. I mean, it is
so nice.
It's a community theater, but the quality is just amazing.
I love community theater.
Yeah,
it feels like more authentic and less productionalized.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
They are really good though. They're like very they're definitely high level semi-pro. Mm-hmm. So highly recommend. So this coming the weekend, this is coming out on Saturday the 22nd, which is also my niece's wedding. Yay! So excited! So congratulations, Tara and Steve. It is the close. They only do it for 2 weekends, so that was why we went in spite of the weather last weekend. Saturday looked the best option because they said Sunday was going to be torrential rain, and I don't know if it really was torrential, but whatever. We went with the Saturday.
Yeah. We, that was over Valentine's and we had
Yes, it was Valentine's weekend.
a holiday bookended, or a weekend bookended by holidays. So Friday was Valentine's Day and Monday was President's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday and Sunday were in between. So, yeah, we took the kids skiing.
Fun.
To Hunter Mountain.
Uh-huh.
Rented so their dad and I split the weekend. Chad and I did Friday, Saturday, and then the dad came Sunday and did Sunday and Monday.
Nice.
Which was really nice.
Yeah.
It was Teddy's first time on skis.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very cute. I'll put a little video in here of him. This is day 2, the video, and I was skiing in front of him. And at the end, he runs into my booty. Because I'm like trying to video him while he's skiing
that's what yeah.
So
fun.
But he loved it. I didn't get a video, but he was doing a little he would hold his skis and he'd be like, I love to ski, 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 I love to ski. And everybody was cracking up around him. He was so cute.
Very cute.
He had a fun time. Everybody had a fun time.
Yeah.
So that was a good.
And it was crazy here on Monday because the store was open regular hours, but so many people were off. We had lots of people shopping in groups and things. Parents and kids and friends who don't get to see each other all that often and stuff. It was very, very festive atmosphere. That was a nice day.
I bet that would be really nice. I was working. Yeah. I was making up for my Friday that I was playing hooky, and so I worked on Monday.
Yeah.
But we have. If you're watching this very early on Saturday morning, we have a special event.
That's right.
Today.
How could I forget? We do. It is the Color Wheel Trunk Show from 11 to 4.
Yeah.
And Lauren, who is a friend of the store, who's been to Yarnia a few times with trunk shows, is back. She's the one who dyes the Fall at Yarnia sock set.
Fall at Yarnia.
And she's actually bringing Fall at Yarnia on DK this time.
That's going to be so amazing.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing hat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yep, hat and mitts set. I bet you could get hat and mitts out of one.
I bet you could.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah, average size, yeah.
Because I know you can get 2 hats, not with brims, but 2
not like fold-up
beanies.
brims.
Yeah, out of 2 skeins of Alpaca Soft DK. So.
Yeah. And that's not even as much yardage either.
Right.
Yeah. So definitely check that out on Saturday if you can.
Yeah. And Lauren has such fun colors.
She does. Yeah. She's an art teacher who does dyeing, as a side hustle, and she's really good at it, and she really enjoys it, and she's just a pleasure. She's so sweet.
Yep.
She brings some samples and has some nice pattern suggestions for her yarns.
She's a teacher here in New Jersey. Yeah.
That's right. Exactly. An art teacher in New Jersey. So.
That's so cool. We're lucky to be one of the spots she brings her yarn.
That's right. Definitely.
So that's coming up. And then we have the other thing that I want to be sure to mention is Knit for Food.
Yeah.
Which I mentioned last time too. Knit for Food is coming up on first weekend of April.
I think it's the 5th.
Yeah. I was going to say 4th or 5th, one of those two. Whatever the Saturday is, and it's right down there. So that we are a registered location for Knit for Food. That means that our store will be open for people who are fundraising or who either have given donations and are participating that way, or are fundraising and have a team, or have are fundraising for Team Yarnia. If you're interested in donating to Team Yarnia, we're as a group have a goal of $1,000 to raise for Knit for Food. I'm going to put the QR code on the screen now. If you're watching this on your TV, just point your phone at the TV. You can help us get started on our way. We're at the beginning of our fundraising adventure.
Definitely. Yeah, this is really the first time it's been promoted at all.
Yeah, it is. This is the first time I've still got to create the QR code to put on the screen when we're just
one more thing to do before Friday night, right?
Okay.
This is our life.
Yeah, but that'll be fun. And when I do the QR code, of course, I'll make a little graphic for here in the store too.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's coming up. So here at Yarnia, of course, we're open it's a Saturday, just like we are for normal store hours, which are 10 to 5, but we have extended hours for Knit for Fooders. We're going to start at 9 and we'll end at 6. And during the day, sporadically, it's not all day long, but at various points during the day, there are live streams of all sorts of yarny people in the Yarniverse. And those will be the videos will be going on our TV here in the back. So if you're knitting, it'll be lots of fun. Last year it was a ton of fun. Great to knit with other people during our knit-a-thon and enjoy the live broadcast and all sorts of things like that.
Yeah,
so,
no, it was a lot of fun. I was here early, like at the kind of early shift last time, and it was nice. It was really nice to be able to be part of that.
Yep. So that's going on. I think last year she raised like almost 300,000, right? Like 288 or something like that. I feel like there's been over the years that Laura Nelkin has been putting this on, over $1 million raised for food insecurity, or to prevent food insecurity or mitigate.
Address it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just such a great cause, and we're thrilled to be a participating location.
Yes, definitely.
Yay! So that one, and then very last, mark your calendars. New Jersey Wool Walk is coming up.
That's right.
Dates are down there. Put
April
in for PTO.
23rd to the 28th.
Yeah.
Wednesday through Sunday. And that Saturday is also local yarn store day. So we are going to have some additional things going on the Saturday. But if you've ever been, we love the Wool Walk. And I think I mentioned last time, I'm part of the team, the leadership team.
Yeah.
We are busy, reaching out to all the yarn brands that all the stores carry and asking for things for prizes and things. And they're starting to roll in already, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then we have a day where the leadership team gets together and we kind of sort out all of the stuff that comes in. And, so that, we carry Tosh. So when Tosh sends their donation, we make sure all the stores that carry Tosh get it. And then if they've given even more than that, then all of the stores get some and so on. It's really nice. And because
the yarn brands are great sponsors for the Wool Walk. It's really nice. Yeah.
Yep. And, and the way we use those is we make prize baskets, and usually once a day, we have a drawing for.
Here at Yarnia, we spread ours out over the
5 days,
Different stores have different methods of.
Every store does their own thing, and it's so interesting because, I'm on calls where people talk about, especially like new stores, there always are new stores, either, opening and then participating, or that haven't done it before, who then join, and, they're like, well, what do we do? And, some stores literally, each thing is its own prize, and like, they have timers that go off, and whoever's at the register when the timer goes off is the prize winner. And we tend to do ours like in baskets, like in groups, and then each day we have like one big winner. So, and also though, like we can't really decide that until we see what we get.
Yes.
So once we know what we have, then we can figure out what our groupings will be. But I do love a prize basket, and I like putting it together. Too. And so we'll see. We've done different things different years. So.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, and Abby will be here with her Girl Scout cookies.
That's right.
I think.
Yeah, we did. We actually had one dyer approach us, and who we've talked with before, who we'd love to have in the store sometime, saying, could she come and, vend with us one day. The way we have it set up, though, the entire back half of our store is all of our sale yarns.
Yeah.
All the stuff that either, is no longer being made or we've decided not to carry anymore. And literally hundreds and hundreds of balls and skeins of yarn. And that area is where we do our trunk shows.
Yeah.
So, I guess like we're kind of closer to New York City, or real estate's a little more expensive maybe than some places that have a lot more room than us. And we're not tiny, but we're compact. We don't have that many different ways to rearrange our space. We are efficient. I like that. We're definitely efficient.
I gotta join. See, this is I hear folks comment sometimes like, my yarn is split. That's obviously always going to happen because sheep aren't eternal. And neither are machines.
Sheep don't have endless fleece on them.
Right. Everything must come to an end. It's okay. I think Berroco does a really good job, right? Like, I feel like if you knit that join, it would probably be fine. I prefer not to, so I'm going to separate it. Yeah. Maybe. It's just actually quite strong. Yeah. And then just...
is this one of your squares?
This is one of my squares. Yeah, I'll talk about it more in a bit, but I'm knitting with Berroco Vintage. I just wanted to say, like, I just got to a place where there was a join. The yarn is just sort of, like, felted together there. So you can knit over it, and it would just be
a little bit of a lump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer to break it. That's just 2 extra ends to weave in.
Yeah.
That's like, what, all of 45 seconds of my life?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I usually never, I don't like to leave a knot or that kind of lumpy join.
And I'm not even, I probably won't even really weave these in too much because I'm doing a Russian join here, so. There we go. Done. Look at that. Now we're moving on.
Cool. All right, we probably should talk. Oh, actually, I have one more thing before we talk about projects. One of our customers, Wendy, sent in, we know like all last year, Wendy was working on a temperature blanket using Juniper Moon Farm Cotton and Merino. That was a new yarn last year. We brought it in a big way. I don't remember if it was, she's in Maryland, but she has been to the store. She popped in once on a trip, going north somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think even another time after that. But she fell in love with that yarn and decided to use it for her temperature blanket. And so
I feel like grabbing a skein.
Yeah,
you can see what it looks like. Just
probably. So she picked many colors of this beautiful yarn, and this is one of those blown in.
Yeah. So
kind of
this cotton merino, which I'll go show you what it looks like. It's the cotton part is the blown core. Or no, the cotton part is the core, and then the merino part is the blown fibers and the floofy bits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these are actually big balls.
Yeah, these are 100-gram skeins.
100 grams, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times the balls like this are 50 grams.
Right.
These are 100 grams. And so she picked, I think, about 8 colors and made this amazing temperature blanket. Which,
yay! Oh my goodness.
So cool.
That's so cool.
When, she was, she picked out her color palette, she was ordering yarn, we were stripping her yarn, she'd be like, all right, I need more of, this, and this, and we'd get more yarn out. And, so we loved the fact that, Wendy, that you sent us pictures when you finished because,
Thank you.
So often we hear about people's projects and things, but we love to see them too. We really do. So look what an amazing job she did on her temperature blanket.
Yeah, we get to live vicariously.
I checked, and there are indeed 365 squares. And
oh, wow.
Because she lives in Maryland, which is south of us here, it was hotter, and the red that she used for the hottest days, she did the average temperature each day. That was what she used her color coding for, and there were a lot of hot days, especially in the middle of the summer, which you can see in the middle of the.
Last summer was really hot. It was okay in the beginning of June, and then the beginning of July was just brutal.
I remember that's when
brutal.
Haley was like pet sitting and house sitting for Jen, and we luckily had access to a pool on the daily, which was very nice.
Yeah,
there were some pretty hot days.
That was my office in my apartment downstairs had no air conditioning.
I remember that.
And
oh my god, yeah, you were melting, and for Amanda to be melting, this is our Alabama girl.
I'm usually fine. Like
she's usually fine regardless, and Jen and I are melting, but yeah, we had some heat. All right, so we probably should get to some of our projects. So, do you want to talk about what you're wearing?
Sure, now that I know what it is. We had to look this up beforehand.
It's been a while.
We remembered this was by Sylvia Watts-Cherry. This is the Mino pullover vest by Sylvia Watts-Cherry. I made this in Northlight Fibers. They're the fingering. Spring Street. Okay, yeah. In a color combo, I basically took the colors that were on the shelf the longest.
And it's so pretty. It's mint chocolate chip.
Super nice.
Chocolate chip.
It's mint and brown. So, and then it also has like these little white bits. Sylvia designed this inspired by some African patterns on buildings in Africa, and I just love that. Usually, I feel like colorwork has such a horizontal feel, and I really enjoy the verticality.
Yes,
of this colorwork.
I hadn't thought about it that way. Yeah.
It's cool. It definitely has a different vibe than a lot of what is like more traditional.
Absolutely,
colorwork inspiration.
It's funny too. I almost wore my my Fair Isle vest, which would have been such a good contrast, but I decided not to wear that today.
But yeah, so this is what I want to work today. Ta-da.
Nice. Ta-da. So actually, I feel like in a way, since there are just two of us, why don't I talk about what I'm wearing today?
Yeah, you should.
So I am wearing the Devonshire, and I forget who that's but Amanda will put it in. This was this is a pattern that was written for DK Yarn, but I really wanted a nice cozy cardigan in black. I think I started this 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I finished it like 2 years ago. We were talking about this during our Thursday class today. It's like, just, between the fact that it was all black, pretty tight gauge for worsted, and the lace, I really tried to knit this as much in sunlight as I could, because it just was like making me feel blind otherwise. And I just kept getting to a point where I'd be like, all right. And it's a pieced sweater, which I don't usually make pieced sweaters.
Yeah.
So.
Were you knitting this during the pandemic?
I must have, yeah, that must have been part of when I was doing it.
I feel like I remember, because if you go back in the Chronicles of Yarnia, there was 6 months or so where we didn't podcast together.
Right.
But I would see everybody's progress, because you guys would all send the videos to me, and then I would compile them into something that sort of made coherent sense.
Yeah.
But I remember you saying, like, I have to sit in the sunlight to make this.
Yes. I really
vividly remember that.
Yeah, I should do a little mini episode or something though on all my black sweaters, because I have so many black sweaters that I've made.
That's so good.
I love to wear black, and I love to make my own clothes, so it's kind of a good combo. But it's a funny thing. I
have a black sweater that I wear frequently, but I didn't make it. I could have made it, because it's probably sport weight. But I didn't. But, oh well.
Let's see.
Maybe someday, but it actually is really nice. So.
Did I actually mess up my pattern here? I might have.
Well,
that's what
you want to figure that out? And
sure.
I'll talk about my finished object.
Perfect timing. Thank you, Amanda. Saved by the bell.
I have a finished object this week. Yay! Which is good, because it was Valentine's. So I finished my little bright
Oh yes!
shawl.
Oh, so cute, so cute!
Yay! So this was Chad's Valentine's present, and I got a little kit from Hello Bargello, which we talk about all the time, and I wish they would wholesale, but they don't. But again, put the link down there. But they had these cute little trays that look like conversation hearts.
So cute. I love those. I didn't get any of those this year. So sad.
Oh, well, I have a whole bag on our dining room table that I'm sure will still be
drop
there.
off with the beer. Drop off a few conversation hearts.
So, yeah, I thought that would be a really cute little thing. I don't know. Do you remember,
it's very sweet.
Last year, I had just been to Vogue Knitting Live and learned how to do Tunisian crochet. So I did this little Tunisian crochet purple hearts.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was last year. And this year, yes, he gets a little treat thing.
Yep. We were very low key on Valentine's Day this year. I made a special dinner for me and Jean and Haley, and Jean with his heart stuff he's not supposed to have alcohol, he's not supposed to have sugar. It's like, but we did want to, we just kind of splurged a little bit, but definitely went a lot more low key. He is such a candy feed normally, so I think that's been a little hard for him.
Yeah, I can imagine. I have, at my office, I had lots of, some vendors sent, like, holiday baskets, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I didn't actually eat them at the time, but I put them on my shelf in my office. Because I said, at the time, I was like, when I need to eat my feelings during year end, this is what this
You've
is
got a stash.
I had a stash. It's about half gone now.
I believe it. I believe it.
It's been a rough January, February. But
yeah.
Thank you to all my vendors who sent me treats.
Nice. Yeah.
I really needed them. Other folks have come in, and that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, hey, when you're having one of those days, just come and grab some chocolate.
Come and help yourself.
And I'll be replenishing that stash with some Girl Scout cookies shortly.
That's right. Yep.
I suspect those are going to go faster.
Probably.
Like, not from me, but like other folks coming and being like, yeah, I do need some. Yeah. So that's my only finished object. I'm glad I finished it. I actually didn't have it finished on Valentine's Day, so you definitely got a tray on the needles. But I worked on it. I finished all the parts on Valentine's Day. This is my first Bargello I've ever finished. See,
cool. Yeah.
It's a little bit wonky there, but
it's fine.
It looks good on the outside.
Made with love.
Yes.
It's made with love. It's the important thing.
That's okay.
Yeah, and I actually have no finished objects. It's funny, I was saying before we started, I said I kind of feel like I'm channeling Jen a little bit. I did our intro. I have no finished objects, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a bit of a week. I kind of threw my back out and had 5 days where I really could not do much knitting at all. But I did still do some knitting for my class. And this, actually, I didn't bring all of my frog attempts, but I guess why don't I talk about what I'm working on?
Yeah.
And I hope Kim's not watching, but we'll see. Maybe she is. She'll see this soon enough.
I'm going to put a timestamp down below.
Kim, if you're watching, skip ahead. So Kim is our team member who had a baby about 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks early. And I was working on a baby sweater for her, for her baby, in LRA Cashmerino, and it came out nice. Haley had the suggestion that even when I had decided it was not. Oh, so anyway, when I met little baby Clara, I'm like, the color of this is too close to her skin tone. It's just not going to be very flattering on her. Yeah. Usually, I feel like you either want something lighter than the person's skin or darker. When it blends in, it just isn't as nice to me. Yeah. So I abandoned that, and I think, I had this yarn last time.
You need to take a picture of the baby and the yarn on grayscale. Make sure there's
enough contrast. Exactly. So I decided to go for La Bien-Aimée Cashmerino. It was funny, one Cashmerino to the other.
Yeah.
And I started making the same sweater, the Florence Merlin cardigan number 4, which is like basically my default baby sweater pattern. I love it. It's so pretty. The yarn I'm using is the Julia color in Cashmerino. I love
that color. It's
so pretty.
Can you guys see this color?
It is one of those things, though, where...
Here, I don't think I need to walk all the way up. Ooh, it's a little blowing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like peach, and it has these pops of fuchsia.
Hot pink and yellow and orange and all kinds of colors.
I like the pops.
Yeah, the pops are so fun. But it's one of those things where all the additional color beyond the background color was really obscuring the pattern. You really couldn't see it. It was just too much. So Haley, thank you, Haley, had the lovely idea of holding it double. She's very into like fingering held double to make DK lately.
Yep.
And doing this is the Baby Chocolat pattern.
Oh yeah.
Which I've made before, and it is like the simplest baby sweater. It actually, I don't recommend it. It doesn't have any stitch counts. It's got some mistakes in it, but it is a good basic, if you're a confident knitter and you just want a really cute, simple baby sweater that's got seed stitch borders, it's fine.
You basically need inspiration, not
not real directions. It's more like a recipe. But anyway,
not a recipe with measurements.
No, exactly. It's season to taste. Yes. So I'm so much happier with it. I mean, I don't even know how far I got. I got part of the way through the little, the kind of cable detail with this. And also, fingering held single, it's light even for an infant. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's so thin. So, with this yarn, this is definitely a light fingering too. It's like 467 yards. So, it was not the right combination of yarn and pattern, but I feel like this is. So, forging ahead, I've got to get to 4 inches, which I might even do while we're sitting here. And then I'll do the sleeves, and then it'll be done.
Well, I feel like I did fingering weight for Teddy's and Charlie's coming home outfit, but I was knitting on like 2s.
Yeah.
So it was like tight gauge.
Yeah. And also, it was like poofier yarn too, right? You did the...
I did the snow, Woolfolk Snow for Teddy, which doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. It was a marled, so
that was so pretty.
It was really pretty.
Yeah, and it was definitely a denser gauge. Yeah.
And then I used Allegria for
Charlie.
Allegria,
yep.
Which is also poofier. It definitely has
It's body. A little poofier. I mean, the Cashmere, it's so pretty, but it definitely is a light fingering.
Yeah, it is.
It's that thinner side. So that is one of the 2 things I've been working on.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So it really should be a finished object next time. And I finished the knitting on the earlier one, but I still not have seamed the arms. So that'll happen hopefully.
You and I can both bring in baby finished objects next time.
That's right.
Because I have not knit a stitch on my baby.
Oh no.
Yes, sorry, Kay.
Well, you still have time though. You have time.
I had to get a Valentine's tray done.
That's right. Oh, I should have prepped this a little more. So the other thing I have been trying to work on, which was really bad when my back was terrible, because it's such heavy yarn, is my car bath for the class I'm doing on Tuesdays. Again, channeling Chen. So we are at the point where we've got one class left. Most everybody has either attached their sleeves or is about to attach their sleeves, and then you do you just decrease on every round. Where are we? Here we go. There are some diagonal lines here until you basically consume all of the stitches of the front and the back sweater, and you just have your sleeves kind of reach up and form your collar.
Yep.
So so class on Tuesday night was doing a lot of math because the pattern says decrease evenly around to get to 76 stitches for the collar, and everyone had a different stitch count.
Oh yeah.
So, and maintaining a knit 2 purl 2 pattern. So that was fun. So anyway, yep. So I did.
But that is where math comes in handy.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like we have to math sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And yep, got all my sleeves. I got my thumb holes in my thumbs here. No one else. I was surprised no one in the class did the thumb holes. I don't know. It is a first sweater class. I think they thought I was being a little too out there with the thumb holes, like diverging from the pattern that much. But I think it's good to think about what options are.
Sure.
Like you don't have to do it every time, but it's so interesting. A lot of, I love this group. They're so sweet, and they were talking about what we're going to do next, Kathleen. So we may do a spring sweater class too. But
I sort of like the idea of doing a sweater class always in a bulky weight.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Except for the spring, it's like then you're not gonna be able to wear it for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of the reasons I wanted it, like I said, we have to. And actually, we started in late January, finishing it in February to have time to wear the sweater because, knock on wood, it's going to be too warm soon for things like this.
Well, I was going to say something like, not if you're knitting, but like a lacy sweater.
True.
And a bulky weight.
True. Yeah, that could work. But the interesting thing, the thing I was saying, it is a first sweater class. A lot of So a couple of people in the class have made a sweater before, but they're still pretty early in their sweater making journey, so they're feeling, they want the backup of a class. They want the support, the, camaraderie, all of that. But literally, I had to keep saying, people would email us like, well, my sleeve is 17 inches, but it's not quite long enough yet. And I said, take a look at the pattern. The pattern says to 17 inches or your desired length. It's like, that's the, you really do. You want to knit to your measurements or to how you want the sweater to fit. So kind of helping people develop the confidence to, in this case, not even diverge from the pattern, but not do the default, but follow that part that says, or your desired measurement.
Yes.
Because that's why we're doing this. We're doing this to make things that fit for us or whoever we're making the garments for.
This is me and ready to wear. If I did 17 inches.
You were saying that, yeah.
Always short.
Yeah.
Always. So, yeah, I have to just unbutton and squish them up.
Yeah. So that is it for me for works in progress. I've been working on these two things, and they both should really be finished by the next episode for sure.
I feel like I didn't get that much done. Well, I felt like I didn't work on that much, but maybe I got plenty done. This took me longer than I thought it would. Honestly, because it was probably my first Bargello, and I shouldn't expect my first thing to go super fast.
But still, I'm sure it was.
Well, that's what we tell people all the time. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna knit or crochet,
or have it be perfect.
Someone
it's
who's
like
been
your
doing
first
it for
one's
20 years.
Probably not going to be perfect.
Yeah, mine's
and that's
definitely
okay.
not perfect.
But we're learning and growing, right?
And it's fun.
Yeah.
But speaking of learning, I'm working on the Berroco Mystery Knitalong Afghan. That's what I'm working on right now, which is super fun and is a great learning project. So we have, there's 18,000 people working on this now from around the world.
Lot.
Yeah. And I'm working on the February square. So every month, I think through October, they're going to be releasing squares.
And is it 2 every month or some?
No, it's some number every month.
Uh-huh.
So January had 2 squares. February they only released 1 square, but you knit it 6 times.
Okay, all right. So yeah.
So, but there's 25 squares total. So after January and February, you actually have 8 of your 25 already.
Cool.
Which is nice. I think some of and it's a skill builder. So January used just knits and purls flat. But it incorporated a little bit of, it had both written instructions and charted instructions. Mm-hmm. And the second square was definitely easier to read the chart, I think, than to read the instructions.
Yeah, I usually find that too if you have options.
So, but you could like test the waters with the chart on the first one and then rely more on the chart on the second one. This one, I'll show you the finished one. I think I showed you the finished one last week too. Mm-hmm. I think this is the one I was working on last week.
With the numbers, yeah. Right.
When I was math challenged. This is what happens when I get stressed out. I just I literally woke up at like 3 a.m, and you know how like when you wake up and your brain is going, like your subconscious brain is going, but you're still like asleep-ish, like not really awake. So I was like that, and I was just thinking about numbers, and all of a sudden I just woke up and I'm like, 72 divided by 4 is 18.
not 16 or whatever it's supposed to be.
Not 24.
Yep.
And Chad's like, what? I'm like, it's 18, not 24.
That's why there are too many stitches, right?
So, yeah, it took me quite a while to realize that. And then I read y'all's comments, and you're absolutely right. My math's wrong. But I ripped it out. I thought about leaving it in, and then I was like, nah, it's not worth it. Yeah. And the center part is actually really fast to do.
Yeah, you're just decreasing.
So I ripped this one out, and now it's the correct side. Oh, no, wait. Actually, I ripped this one out. This was the first one I did. This was the second one I did. See, now the center is the right side.
Yes, now they match, Ta-da. Right?
Dum-da-dum. I did this third one. Yay. And now I'm working on number 4. Ooh. So I'll probably finish 4 this month. This one, I'm not stressing about finishing 4 or 5 or 6. Because these are very potato chippy. Right?
Yeah, you could squeeze one of those in at any time.
Right. And it's
perfect for leftovers.
It's perfect for leftovers. It's also perfect for conference calls, right? Yeah. Because like you literally don't have, after you've done 3, you don't have to think about pattern. After you know you should.
You put on markers, right? You just decrease it.
Markers. You just decrease at the markers.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's still, if you're interested in joining the Berroco Knitalong, there's still plenty of time. Yeah. We have information on our Ravelry community thread about all the different things. There were meetups at Yarnia available in January and February. They were not well attended. So I'm not sure if folks, feel free to comment down below if an in-person meetup is interesting at all to you,
or maybe an online. Maybe
but people prefer an online.
One person did email and ask if there was going to be one.
Because actually, Berroco for January had like an online Zoom, like or YouTube Live or Facebook Live or whatever. But they're not doing one every month. So maybe we do one for March.
Yeah.
Zoom. Maybe I'll try that. I want to find out like what works for people.
Yeah. But also the nice thing about that is that everyone can be wherever they are. It's yeah.
So maybe we'll try that. We'll do a Zoom for March. If you're sad and want to come in, maybe we'll then comment below. If we have 15 people, tell me below. Then maybe we'll do something different for April.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Maybe we'll knit in the park in April.
There you go. Yeah.
We'll do a Berroco.
Why not?
Mystery Knitalong blanket meetup in
Advanced Knit in Public Day.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. So that's the Berroco Knitalong. It's going well. The next square comes out. They come out the first Thursday of each month.
Okay.
So whatever the first Thursday of, I guess the first is on a Saturday this month, I think.
Or maybe a Friday.
So, oh no, the 28th is on a Saturday. It's on a Sunday. First on a Sunday. So
I remember when I was changing my contact lenses. 28th is a Friday.
28th is a Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then, because when I was changing my contact lenses, it must have been last Sunday. And I always looked to 2 weeks ahead, so I'd make a note about what date to change them again.
Yeah.
I was like, yay, in 2 weeks it's going to be March.
I know.
This is the point of the winter where I am so over it. I am so over it.
December 23rd is the point in the winter when I'm so over it. Like, immediately. So I've been working on these sporadically. This is what I worked on. I took this up to ski. Because I could have, two kids yelling at me and be talking to me and be playing Pokemon Monopoly and knit at the same time.
Love it. Talk about multitasking.
Right.
Great.
That
yeah.
fun.
No, but those are the perfect kind of squares for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't really need to.
Not the perfect kind of squares for that, but still making progress. I'm working on my finish of February.
Oh yeah.
With my hooked on grannies.
All right.
And I finished the square.
Yay.
Yay. So this square is Aurora. This was actually the October square from when we had a crochet along for a year. And I don't remember what was going on in October, but apparently my life was very busy because I didn't do any of the October squares. I didn't even start a single one. So
yeah.
I don't know what was going on. But it's actually... So you've done the Hooked on Grannies by Hooked on Sunshine. There's often a lot of puff stitches or...
Some of them are quite involved.
Look at this. No puff stitches on the whole thing.
Yeah. It's really pretty, too.
Right.
They're all pretty. They're all so good. Yeah.
There is a lot of surface crochet on this one. So if you like surface crochet, which is nice. I mean, it adds a little bit of time, but it looks pretty, huh?
Yeah, it looks really good.
And these
and
all over here. Yeah. A lot of surface crochet.
I like that a lot.
It adds texture and color in different spots, but... So I finished one, and then I started the second one. So this is how far I am on the second one of the Aurora. So I just have to finish this one, and then one more, and I'm done with all the squares.
Yay!
So I'm going to finish this one this weekend, and then I'll finish the next one by the 28th somehow. I'll probably start the next one this weekend and then finish it, through the week. But I'm going to finish it by the 28th. If I have to stay up till midnight on the 28th, I'm going to finish these Hooked on Granny squares. That is my goal.
All right.
And then my very last thing, I took this for after I finished the tray, because Chad gets me knitting on one of his things at a time, and that's it.
Oh, yes, I know. I was thinking about this. Yeah. The socks.
Yeah, so I did his heel, or his cuff, and I did a heel. All
right.
I used the Turkish thumb.
So,
this is in Jen's sock class, on-demand sock class, which is on our website, and I'll put a link down below on that. But basically, you knit to the end of the first joint of the wearer's thumb, and that approximates the depth of the heel, the correct depth of the heel. So I thought that was cute. So what I put the green up here.
I love that. That's so fun.
Yeah. Where it started. This is the color progression. And then I just frogged out from the end to put on the heel. And then I made him try it on, and this is where his the end of the little toe comes here. So I'm going to rip it back to here and do the toe decreases with the striped part of the yarn. So,
cool. And these were the ones where he wants one with the leg to be striped and the other with the...
So I've already started because I was in the car and I didn't know where his toes need to start. So I just started the cuff over here. And you can see I'm just knitting the cuff from the other end of the sock.
Perfect, yeah.
But I am going to take this one out. We talked, I think, last time about our favorite bind-offs.
Right.
And this bind-off is a little tight. That's always, I find, tricky. I think it's easier to not be too tight at the top of socks when you knit cuff down. But when you knit toe up and you're binding off at the cuff, I find it's often... it can be easy to get a little bit too tight. And I even tried to be loose. I mean, you can see it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I did what I said I like to do, which is...
The every other.
Yeah, every other one. There's an extensive discussion in our live.
There is.
Last time. I'll link it up there. But yeah, it's still a little tight. I think it's because the socks are long. He wanted longer.
Yes, so
And
it's higher on his calf,
and
therefore...
And he has muscular calves,
Mm-hmm.
so...
Yeah, that definitely... The higher it is, the bigger you need that ribbing to be.
But you can see, so now he's going to have little mismatchy socks.
Oh my gosh.
But they're both going to have
so
the
funny.
green cuffs, so I think that'll be cute.
Yeah, yeah. That's how everyone will know they're really a pair. Right?
By the green cuffs.
Green cuffs.
Yeah, but now that I have his measurements on this sock, I can just make them exactly like the heel start at the same place.
Row number or whatever. Yeah. Cool.
So now I don't need his foot
Very fun.
anymore. So I didn't bring it, but I have the other skein that I need cranked into a tube. Can our sock machine do 72 stitch socks? Or does it have more than 60?
Yeah, we have 64 and a 72. We have two cylinders.
I might try to do a 72 for him on the other one.
Especially if he wants really long ones again,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that because this is a 64, which is what I use.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think we talked about this before, right? Like I have narrow fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I also have sort of like narrow ankles and feet. And so, yeah, like a sock tube cranked is a little bit too big for me. But that fits Beth great. It fits, and I think, and it fits. This one fits Chad okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like the 72 might be a little bit better for him. So we'll try that. I think. Yeah.
Worth a try.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a try.
Ta-da! So that's what my whips are. That's what I've been working on. And I promise to work on baby things. In addition to Hooked on Granny Squares this week. Those are my two projects for the next time.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I've been working on too, we were talking about this earlier, just kind of in the background is, I think I really do want to do a Make 9 this year, which, hey, it is late February at this point, but I think it will help me like finish the things I really want to finish. And at least if I kind of commit to it in the form of a Make 9, I'll do more of the, I won't forget some of the things that I've started that I want to, go ahead and actually do. And if I bump some things, I bump some things, but I feel like I'm ready to have a plan.
Yay! Welcome to the club. I was meh on my plan last year, but that's okay. I feel like the year before I did like 8 of my 9. Last year I didn't finish everything, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think it does help. It also gives you like checkpoints through the year. I feel like every quarter I sort of look at my Make 9 and I'm like,
Well, the funny thing is, I mean, obviously, one of the things I would put on it is this,
Ta-da!
which is almost done. So, is that cheating?
No.
Actually, maybe that could be our question. Is it cheating if you put something you're almost done with on your Make 9?
If you do your Make 9 in July, and you put your 5 FOs so far this year.
Well, that's totally like the to-do list thing. It's like, all right, this is our question. This would absolutely be our question. If you are a to-do list maker, do you add things that you have done to your to-do list just to check them off? Raise your hand. The answer is yes. Absolutely. Do you?
No. Never.
I think Jen does too. I think Jen does what I do. Well, I mean, partly one of the reasons I do a to-do list like that just is to, like, especially, it's funny, it winds up being especially on a Saturday morning. I come down to my desk with my first cup of coffee and I'm like, all right, what are we already committed to for this weekend?
Yes.
What else needs to happen? And then I just start listing things out. But a lot of times, I don't think of every single thing and something else needs to happen. So it's just like, kind of allocating your time a little bit. But yeah.
I was saying to Knit Night on Wednesday, like, I feel out of control if I don't do my to-do list on Sunday night. I don't know. There were many weeks this winter that I didn't get to do my to-do list.
And you feel out of control, right? I totally do too. Well, I didn't get to do. I usually do mine Saturday morning. Actually, that's when I do mine. That's kind of whatever, Friday's the end of the week and Saturday morning like starts the new week in some ways for me. It really is Monday, but I try to, do some of my personal stuff as well. So Saturday just winds up being the time, because I pretty much never work in the store on Saturday, and every other day, like, even though I sit down, I'm often here by about 9. So it's like, just, this weekend, the weather wasn't good. I knew we were going to the show. Like, I had whole chunks of time that, like, I had no control. Like, I didn't have the ability to do anything other than what I was going to be doing. So I didn't need to do a to-do list for that. And then Monday and Tuesday at the store, just, like, I had things I knew I needed to do. So I didn't do the formal to-do list. But finally on Wednesday, I updated it. And honestly, though, I haven't even had a chance to look at it. So it kind of doesn't matter. It's just one of those, we are, we're going out of town tomorrow for this wedding and everything. And I know in my mind what I need to do. Like, I had a few categories, like I had to get ready for this tonight, and I had to do stuff for the trunk show anyway. So, I'm so much happier when I have a to-do list, but some days / weeks, it's like, just not even, kind of don't need it, so. All right. So anyway, so we have a question. We'll have to figure out what our prize is, but let's talk about our new in-store / our winner from last time and all of that. All right, I've got one more stitch in this row.
If your comment below is anything adjacent to list making, it'll count.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Or do you have a great tip for list making, keeping on top of things like that? Because we all could use tips, right?
Are you a magical person that has their whole list in their head?
Oh, I wouldn't like that. I literally sometimes feel like when I'm writing, when I, make my lists, and like sometimes they're on paper, sometimes they're on the computer, I feel the stuff flowing out of my head and through my hand, and then the thoughts are no longer whirling around in my head. Can you say ADHD? But, so our, so why don't we talk about new in store, and then we can do question and all of that.
These are not new in store.
Those are not
pretty in store.
They are. So I'm
putting them in my bag here, but I'm going to remember not to take them home.
You throw them in the basket if you want.
Yeah, I could.
So we just did a big restock.
Re-TOSHED. We got re-TOSHED.
I think that might be our title.
I love a re-TOSH.
So we did get re-TOSHED. We picked a bunch of new colors. I think 7 new colors of Tosh DK, right? No, Tosh Vintage, which is the worsted.
Yep.
We definitely went heavy on the neutrals. But it's the way we're feeling right now. It's what's selling. It's what we needed to fill in. We had a lot of brights on the shelf.
I think, like we talked about, right? Like we're definitely in a sweater era of trends of like knitting.
Oh yeah, of what people are making.
Yeah, because when I started, when I say started, right, when I really got into knitting more, it was very shawl heavy.
Yeah.
Right, lots of colors, lots of hand dyed, which this is hand dyed, but like all the vibrant colors.
Yeah.
All, like very swirly.
And things like made to be like to work together and everything, right? Like things where you're kind of combining colors and pairing things up and everything.
Yeah. And we were talking before the podcast. I was like, I'm knitting Eric's sweater right now, which needs sleeves, and one sleeve is on the needles now and has been started, so that will now continue. But that's a petite knit sweater. And then next, as soon as I finish those sleeves, is Abby's petite knit, which we showed you with the La Bien Aimée that she picked out for the holidays. Yeah. And then I was talking to Catherine about what she wants for her sweater this year, and she wants a hot pink brioche cardigan. And I sent her some options. What did she pick?
A petite knit.
Right? Yeah. But if you're looking at those Scandi inspired, more simple lines.
Oh yeah, they're single color.
Single colors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think a lot of these lend themselves really well to petite knits, my favorite things, all those kind of
definitely
really good basics. Really good basics.
Definitely. So so these are all of our colors of vintage. And if you get our newsletter, you will read all about these on Monday as well. We added 3 colors to Wool Cycle Sport, Calligraphy, which is so pretty. Isn't that beautiful? Nice. This one, it's like pink and gray and almost a little lavender in there. It's very, very pretty, very subtle. This one is Turn, which I feel like this I might have in my stash in Tosh Sock from like 10 years ago from somewhere. This one is William Morris, which we thought, we really did stick mostly with the tonals, but we've got a few that are either speckled or more multis.
That would be cool. That would actually make a really nice, like, sweater.
Yeah.
Or a scarf shawl.
Uh-huh.
Like, it would be...
it would be great in a Sophie. It would be great in, a Sophie hood or something.
It's variegated, but it's not like, bam.
It's not wild. Yeah. And then we added a few colors to Tosh DK, and this was... The Tosh DK shelf was like, eye-popping bright.
Yes.
Yeah, so we definitely needed to calm that down a little bit.
Calm down, shelf.
Dr. Zhivago Sky is a beautiful gray. Dubrovnik is a really dark blue. This is so pretty. And then, again, definitely went more into, like, I feel like there is more brown influence. I don't know, it's not quite as visible. This is like a reddish brown. Ristretto, is, which is really nice. Copper Pink, which we've had in other bases.
I love a Copper Pink.
Yeah, and this is... Copper Pink is such a funny color for Tosh. There's Copper Pink, and then there's Copper Pink Solid.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, it's very barely speckled. And then this was one that we had in sock at one point that we thought would be great for like a really simple cardigan or something. Just little bits of color. This one is called Brace for Impact.
I really like that one.
Yeah, I thought that was really fun. It kind of reminds me of Manatee a little bit. It's a little wilder than Manatee. So
yeah, that would knit up so fun.
Yeah. So we got some really nice choices.
Yeah. I love this is a new pink for us.
Yes,
right?
Fragrant. Yeah.
Fragrant.
Isn't that pretty?
Yes.
It's a slightly peachy pink.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
It looks like Demure that wants to be wild but can't. I love it.
Can't quake over the edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Fig. Did we talk about these? I didn't.
No, we didn't. We kind of looked, but we didn't talk about them.
This is Fig, which is a deep purple.
Mm-hmm. Like a brownish purple. Yeah, very very wearable. Like really wearable for anybody.
Yeah.
This is a new red for us. Fatal Attraction. We've had Tart. We've had In Cold Blood, but this is a slightly pinkier red. It's really pretty. I think it's a good color.
Let's see. What's this one? Oh, Composition Book Gray. Yes.
That we've had before in other bases.
Staple.
Yeah. A really nice dark gray.
Okay, my hands are getting too full. Dubrovnik.
Dubrovnik again. Yeah, it was funny. I didn't realize until I saw the purchase order that we did order in 2 colors in 2 bases, but it's such a good color.
It's a good color.
Yeah.
This one is Pebble. Oh, did we have Pebble in something else?
We might have had that in Saka really, like in the old store.
Yeah.
I feel like we had it a really long time ago. So it's
or there's another yarn somewhere in the store named Pebble.
That very well could be.
Probable.
Very possible.
It's probably Pebble. Frontier Stars. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
I like that. It's like mauve and minty icy.
Yeah.
Very pale minty icy. Oh, I like that a lot.
It was definitely unusual, but we thought it was pretty. So
yeah. I liked it a lot too.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't here to look at the metal.
I know that was we missed you that day. So anyway, if you answer our question and tell us anything about to-do lists and your tips for to-do lists and whether you cheat or not, if you don't consider cheating and put things in.
I don't think it's cheating.
I know. I think it's funny though.
Well, it also helps if you're going to go back and like look at what you did or when you did it.
Exactly. Well, it's like when you're like, oh my God, it's 7 p.m. What have I done today? And you look, I'm like, oh yeah, all right, I got a lot done. I did do a lot.
Yeah.
I did do a lot. So your pick of any one of our new Tashes will be the prize, right?
New Tashes or old Tashes or just new
Sure.
Tashes?
We could do new or old, but why not new? It's new.
Yeah.
So our question last time was, what pattern should Jen use for her sweater class? And the prize for that is any of our new or any Hawthorne handmade or Hardicraft kit.
Yeah.
And again, new if you want, but by now it's going to really be hard to tell what's new. So anything from either of those brands. And And Jen is not here with us tonight to pick, so we don't know what she would say. But I did kind of randomly.
She probably still has 100 tabs open.
She probably does. Maybe 120 by now. So I kind of randomly picked a comment, and Hannah Dusto 6524 said she thinks Jen should teach a faded sweater class like City Limits, So Faded, or Spectre by Hohi. And I replied in the comments that I actually have had City Limits in my queue for several years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? We haven't done a fade in a long time. So, but again,
has there ever been a faded sweater class? We did a faded knit-along.
We did the knit-along. Yeah. So
that was with kits too. It wasn't like
it wasn't
pick
like
your
picking.
own fade, which is harder than you think.
Yeah, definitely. So, so Hannah, reach out and let us know what Hawthorne or Hardycraft item you would like, and if you want something else, we're already shipping to you. The shipping's on us.
Yeah.
Email me, and we can tell you how to do that, how to take advantage of that if you wish. So, yeah. So I think with that, we probably should both
dinner.
Come home and eat. Oh my God, it's almost 10 p.m.
I know.
Oh well.
So, but great to see you all tonight.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
Yep. Be sure to like and subscribe. And you can find us online at shopyarnia.com.
That's right.
We're on Facebook and on Instagram at shopyarnia. And sign up for the newsletter on the bottom of any of our web pages.
Any page on our
Scroll
website.
down to the bottom.
Exactly.
There's a little place you can put your email in, and that's where you get information on our classes first.
Yep.
As well as anything that's new in store.
And we do a lot of online classes. And actually, if there's demand, we'll do even more.
Yeah.
You know, if there's something you're thinking about class-wise that we're not offering, let us know, because, you know, that's what we love to do. We love to do what you want us to do. So.
And Kathleen was talking about right before we started today that there are a lot of events coming up. We're leaning into events, so
absolutely.
You can expect those becoming about once a month-ish.
Mm-hmm. Some of your favorite brands and other podcasters, perhaps, will be joining us.
So it'll be fun. Sign up for the newsletter to get to hear about those. And whenever we have events, or usually when we have events in the store, there's a registration for the events. Yes. It's generally free, but it might come with a little treat if you register. And
that's right.
the event.
Or a chance of a treat in some cases. Yeah. That's what we're doing on Saturday. It's just, you know, it helps the dyer. It brings more people in, which helps them, you know, gives them a bigger audience. And when people sign up, they make that little commitment, and you know,
it puts it on your calendar.
Exactly,
and you don't get to Sunday and you're like, oh, I missed
that thing. Yeah.
Right. So that happens all the time.
Yeah, definitely happens to everybody. So, all right. So, again, thanks for watching. Good to talk with you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.